the other day, Bad Omens posted about another incident where they were talking shit about taking merch cuts. So I know that this is like something we've been talking about lately a lot, but like, do people seriously still not know this? Like, lots of touring bands have been taken for about 20% on most bigger venues. Like, it's crazy to me that people don't know that venues have been charging merch cuts to all of these touring bands 20% sometimes, and it's not a big deal. But I mean, all these bands coming up nowadays are making it a big deal, and there seems to be a lot of support backing these touring bands. So how do y'all feel about that? Are y'all still mad? Because I am.
Let me
That's
ask
fucking
this.
ridiculous.
Let me ask this because I didn't know this because I don't play music or anything, but I
Right.
used to book bands back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Now they were smaller local bands and stuff like that. But could I have been doing this? Not that I would have. But should I have been doing this?
I really don't. I don't think it's like a small hometown, like, or you know what I mean? Like,
It's just touring
it's-
bands that
it's-
usually suffer from
It's
this?
the venue. It's just
It's the
venues.
venues.
It's not the promoter. It's venues that charge the
Okay.
merch cut.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like, House of Blues style places, or bigger. Once you take that step up from like all these DIY touring kind of things to that, like you're plugged in,
Yeah.
then lots of venues are like, yo, give us that 20%.
I mean, I really didn't know, and which as a fan, as someone that's going to a show or something, it makes sense why like the merch cut, the merch prices are so jacked up sometimes, because sometimes you'll be like, why is that shirt $35? It's just a T-shirt with one color on it, and like it makes a little more sense. Like, oh, because the fucking venue has to get their nut too.
Yeah, it does.
It is.
It does make sense for that, but damn, it's like on the other side of things. I've known people that are like, "Yo, we got to stop and get some peanut butter and bread just in case we get hungry." While we're in the van, and then you have, people fucking counting how many shirts you're bringing into the venue and making sure that you pay that 20% when you leave.
Had to have those false bottoms in those merch tubs,
Oh,
dog.
yeah,
That's
it.
how we did that shit. Fuck those motherfuckers.
Adam, as someone that's still in the game, do you still run into a lot of 20% merch cuts, or are they being a little more lenient nowadays?
It's still out there, yeah. It's still present. It's been a thing. Like, even, I mean, it was definitely a shock, when the first day you hear like, oh, they're gonna take like this amount. Like, what? Why? Like, what are they?
Yeah.
What are they doing? But I've always just kind of looked at it like that's just a cost of playing the game, man. Like, if you don't, I know it's like, yeah, it's a travesty. Surely it is, but we pay taxes too, and that's
Yeah.
a fucking travesty. So, Bad Omens, why don't we use our platform to protest that or something? Because we, as musicians doing this, we know what the fuck we're getting into. So if we don't like it, we either need to protest and gather and stand up as one, or just shut the fuck up and play the game. That's my opinion. So I don't have the time to do the protesting, and I'm okay giving just a little cut because I just want to play music. And if that's the way that's got to be to get my art out there, then so be it. I'll let them take a little cut of the money, because they're not gonna say, okay, here, we won't let that happen. They're gonna persist. So
Yeah.
if I want to play the House of Blues, I gotta let them fucking take a cut of the merch, or else I'm standing outside with a fucking a fucking sign protesting, but I don't get to fucking play my fucking music. So it's like, pick your battle. Which do you want to do? I think sometimes you want to be like fucking, out there protesting and standing up and making the change, or do you want to like, do it and also use your art to say the message, maybe get people to get more invested in actually doing something, because the bands are the ones that can change it, and it starts with not playing the venues that are doing this. But are we willing to all do that? I don't think we are.
No.
I did like Alpha Wolf when they had their thing happen several months ago. I think one of their remarks was like, all right, well, we want a cut of the bar. whatever the bar makes tonight, we want a cut of
That's
that.
fair.
We want 20% of the bar. And I mean, that sounds very reasonable. Like, if you want a 20% of what we got, we want a 20% of what you got.
I mean, that's
Right.
true.
No, it's
ahead.
true, but I mean, it's like you said, it's the cost of doing business, man. Like I don't support it. I think it's a crock of fucking shit. I don't think that a venue should be able to take 25% of your merch sales, because they didn't do anything. But at the same time, where's your manager at? I mean, there's contracts that are signed for every show. Where's your manager at? Why don't you have any back end deals with the door, making money on the backside, fucking them out of money? I mean, there's ways around it. I know that sounds dumb, but there really is. Like, it's not going anywhere, and venues aren't going to stop doing it because they got to make money and keep the lights on too. Because if they don't keep the lights on, where the fuck are you going to play? And what are they going to do? So it's just it's kind of like a catch-22. You're fucked either way. Like,
Yeah.
you want to bitch, but where are you going to fucking play? Like, where are you going to play at? Like, you can't, because they got to stay open, and it sucks, but it just is what it is.
Right. I mean, I agree. I agree with both of y'all. I mean, like, if you're going to play the game, you got to play the game. But there are times where, like I was saying earlier, like there's bands that get put on as the opening act of like these big fucking tours, and like it's their first real chance. You know what I mean? They're like, oh shit, we're on this tour. Like we're getting paid maybe. They're probably getting like $500 a night. Just to like have the chance to be on a fucking big ass tour like this. And so it's the type of thing.
500 a night.
That sounds pretty flashy, Ricky. For an opener.
I was, you know how long I was $100 band
Okay,
for an
see?
opener, man.
If you're
You know what?
listening,
come on, man.
You see it. You get the point. Like I'm blowing these numbers up. You got to be direct support getting 500 a night and
man.
shit sometimes.
I remember at one point being like, I don't even know if we're going to continue on the fucking tour because we aren't making any money.
But yeah, like just you're feeding into my point. Like you could be an opener and like only be getting paid enough to fill up the tank, and you're like, well, hopefully we sell a shit ton of merch. But then at the end of the night, you're like, we did sell a shit ton of merch, but we had to give 20% to a bunch of people that work at the House of Blues that already get some sort of paycheck.
There were some venues that were like super harsh about count in and so on and so forth. They were very, very harsh about it. And then there's some of them that didn't pay any attention, so you could fuck them over. You could lie about everything. But then there was a couple. I remember playing one that had cameras over the merch area, so you couldn't fucking lie or anything. Like they watched you.
Yeah. And that's, we've done it all. We've fucking, hey, I'm going to go out to the trailer. You want me to pick up some extra shirts and then we could lie about it, or whatever.
Dude, we all had, everybody had backpacks. Everybody had everything just to carry shit in. Like, fuck them, dude.
Right. You'd be like, hey, I snuck in a few shirts in my ass, try and sell it to some stinky kids so they don't notice.
I gotta feel like those, like, like what you're saying, you had some of those days where you still surely do with bands where some days with the whole counting thing, it's hella strict and, they're not letting you get away with shit. But then there's other days it's like, I'm not, they're really chill. And maybe that's, like sometimes that's the difference, like we all have opinions on it, but we all kind of agree like, I don't know, that kind of still sucks,
Yeah.
So maybe there's some people that are working and doing those counting and stuff that maybe are just like, if I was one of those people, I would do it, where it's just like, just give me I'm not gonna lie, we got a lot of, like where it's like, just give me a roundabout number, or just give me a number, just, and it's like, all right, man, don't fuck this up for me because I'm trying to help you out. Just give me a solid, double-digit number.
Because some venues are like, hey, throw me in some security guards, a couple shirts, and we'll fucking make sure that it's all good, And then they're like, also, hey, let me buy you some shots. Also, I got a ham sandwich in the fridge. I'll throw you all that too.
Those are the good people.
Y'all want that ham sandwich?
they're just following the rules, but they want to try and make it at least as good as they can, after the fact.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
one of the most strict places was the whiskey, man. The whiskey was like nuts. They were so strict about their stuff.
Yeah. Well, when you live in
still
LA,
around.
a lot of money ain't much money. You know what I mean? So
Dang.
And
And
ham,
then,
one,
and then that spot in Pittsburgh.
and one ham sandwich to people in LA, that's like half a sandwich.
That's
you know
two.
what I mean?
That's two sandwiches.
Yeah, to us it's two. To them it's like a half. It just depends on the ham and the bread and the steak. You know what I mean? So, anyways, what do you think about that shit? When you go to see your favorite band and you fucking come upon a $50 shirt, do you think about how 20% of it has to go to the venue? Dude,
50?
Yeah, I've seen $50 shirts for sure.
I would not buy that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we forgot to